Hello everyone, welcome to Knowledge Circle. In today's video, we will solve the specimen paper of ICSE 2023 examination of computer application. As we all know that there are some changes in the pattern of 2023 examination pattern. Okay, so according to that pattern, this specimen paper is provided by the council and we will solve this entire paper in today's video. So let's begin this video with section A. In section A, we have two questions. In question number 1, we have 20 sub questions. Each question carries 1 mark. Okay, and these are MCQs. So let's begin with the first question. First question is wrapping up of data and methods together as one unit is termed as. So this question is very simple. The correct answer will be option C, that is encapsulation. Which option? Encapsulation. Now we'll go to the second question. There we have the data type which is specified that the method doesn't return a value. So when a method does not return a value, then what it is known as? It is known as void. So option is very confusing. Options are very confusing. Somewhere it is written capital V, somewhere it is written small v. Option C is all in capital letters. So the correct answer is option B, that is void in small letters. Let's go to question 3. The logical operator which is an unary operator. Okay, so which of this is an unary operator? We have to see that. And is also logical, but it's not unary. It requires more conditions. So here option C, not the not operator does what? It inverts the value. Like not true will become false and not false will become true. So it requires only one operand. That's why this is a unary operator. Let's go to the fourth question. Scanner class. The scanner class is a class. Which kind of class it is? Is it primitive, derived, or wrapper, or super? So scanner class is what? It's a derived class. Scanner class is a derived class. Now the question 5, Math.pow 625 comma 1/2 and Math.sqrt 144. So we have to solve this. Let's see here that Math.pow method is it has two argument. It accepts two argument. So here 625 is as a base and 1/2 as a power. So 1/2 as a power means it will become what? It's gonna be under root 625, means square root of 625. So as we find the square root of 625, we get how much? We get 25. Okay, 25 and plus Math.sqrt. So what will be the value? Square root of 144. The square root of 144 is 12, and finally we get what value? 37. So which option is correct here? Our option is correct. C option is correct, 37.0, because these methods return the value in double. So 37.0 it will be. Now let's go to question C. Question number 6. The correct if statement for the following ternary operation statement is, the ternary operation is, the statement is system.out.println n modulus 2 is equal to 0, true, false. So we have to see these options are very confusing to us. Option, if you see A also, it looks that it is correct. If you see B also, it looks that it is correct. But we have to see that in ternary we have it is printed. It is inside a print. It is a kind of printing statement. It is inside system.out.println. So none of the option here A, B and C, A, B is not having a printing statement, and if we go to D also does not have printing. So the correct option is C, where we have printing statement. Okay, the correct conversion, the correct equivalent is option C. Let's go to question number 7th. Multiple branching statement of Java. It is the simplest one, so it will be what? Switch. Switch is a multi-branch selection statement. Okay, it is also a kind of selection statement, but it is multiple branching where we get several type of cases. Okay, let's go to question number 8. The number of bytes occupied by the constant 45. See, this question is a controversial question, and none of the option can be correct because 45 can be stored in 1 byte also in the byte type variable. It can be in short also, it can be in integer also, it can be in long also. So we cannot say that which option is correct. All options are here belonging to integer wrapper class only, all are of integer type only. So this is a controversial question, we cannot say a correct answer for this. If other, suppose here if the options are double or boolean and character along with integer, then we can go with integer, but here all are of integer type and 45 can be stored in all. So this is a controversial question, we will not get the correct. Let's go to the question number 9. Do while loop is an entry control, infinite, exit control, finite. So do while loop is a kind of exit controlled loop. It is an exit control loop because in do while loop first the body of the loop is executed and at the end of the loop the condition is evaluated. Okay, that's why it's called exit controlled loop. Let's go to question number 10. Now, question number 10 is a code where nested loop is used. So the question is how many times the inner loop executes. If we see the code of the outer loop will run 2 times because the value of k is 1 and it will run up to till the value of k is 2. So it will run 2 times outer loop. Inner loop is having a counter variable m whose initial value is m m1. So now, and what is the final value? 4. So what will happen that it will run 4 times, 1 to 4, it will run 1 to 4 4 times, but our outer loop run 2 times, that's why inner loop will run 2 into 4 how many times? It will run 8 times. So according to that, which option is correct? Option B is correct. Question 11, we have to go to the next question. Question number 11. A method with same name as the class and with the arguments and no return data type is termed as. So we know that a method which has same name as class is known as constructor, but here it is saying that a class with arguments with no return data type. So with arguments we will go with parameterized constructor. A constructor with argument is known as parameterized. So option A is correct here. Question 12. int res is equal to a. So you can see here, this is what done here. In this is an assignment statement and here there is a conversion of data type. So this is called implicit conversion. A character value is stored in an integer variable. So what will happen that the ASCII value of a, that is what, how much it is? 65, the capital A. So res, an integer variable, will hold the value 65. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. Question number 13. The style of expressing single line comment is. So which is correct? The correct option is option C. For single line comment we use double slash. Question number 14. The method to check if a letter is an alphabet or not. So the correct answer for this is letter. Is letter is a method which is used to check whether the character is an alphabet or not. Let's go to next question. Question number 15. The output of the double dot pass double. So see here, the argument which is passed 71.25 is in string form, but using the pass double method we convert it into double value and then we add 0.75 in that. So when you add it, how much you will get? You will get 72. So the correct option will be 72.0, not 72, because it returns the value in double. So that's why option B will be correct. So we need to be very careful because option A and option B are similar. We have to see whether the return type of method is what. So according to that we have to write the output. So let's go to question number 16. The method to convert a string to uppercase. which method is used to convert the string to uppercase? If you see the options, you again options are similar and very confusing, so we have to see a correct option. The correct option is option C, to uppercase. Okay, to uppercase, where in that U and C will be in capital letter and the argument must be in string form. Let's go to question number 17. The output of the method determination dot substring 26. Okay, substring method is used for which purpose? It is used to extract the part of a string. Okay, so 2 and 6, so we have to see 2 means we have to count the index here, 0 E1 and T2. So it will begin from T. It will start from T and 6. So as we know that substring method, the second argument of substring method is 6 here, but we have to count up to what? We have to count up to 5th index only. This is the rule. So let's do that. So if we go with that, T is on second, so T is on second, E is on third, R is on fourth, and M is on fifth. So according to that, we have to go from 2 to 5 only, and that is T, E, R, M. As per that, which option is correct? Option A is correct, term. This is the correct option for question number 17. Array int x size 10 occupies. So we know that what is the size of an integer variable? That is 4 byte. Okay, we know that 4 byte is the size of an integer variable. So when we have an array of 10 elements, so what will happen? 4 multiplied 10, how much it will be? It will be 40 bytes. So according to that, which option will be correct? Option B, 40 bytes. The element in x4 is the of the array is, so fourth means it will be fifth one. So which is the fifth element? 0 1 2 3 4, that is what? 16. So the correct option will be what? Option A, 16. Question number 20, the last question of question number 1. Name the type of error that occurs in the following statement. See, we have written system.out.println math.sqrt 24 minus 25. So this statement will be executed, but while execution you will get the error because the value is in negative. So negative value is not accepted by sqrt method. So this is a kind of runtime error. Now we will be moving towards our second question, where mostly we have output based question. Okay, so the first question is evaluate the following expression. So now let's evaluate it. We have the value of a b c a b z, sorry, a b z. Now we will put the value. What will be the value? Z equal to how much? It will be z plus first. So z value is 10. We will write here 10 plus a plus plus postfix. So the current value of a is 10, so that will be treated as 10 only, plus again minus minus b prefix. So the value of b is 5, so it will become how much? It will become 4. Again plus, then it is plus plus a. Remember it, previous time a plus plus we have used a plus plus, that is postfix. So now the value of a is 11, and again here it is prefix. So the value of a will become how much? The value of a will be 12. Again at the last we have what? B, minus minus b. Again what we have? Minus minus b. So what will be the total answer for us? So in the beginning it was 10, then it was again 10, then it became 4, then it became what? 12, and then again one more minus, prefix minus b, that is what? It will become 3. That will be only addition only. 10 plus 10, 20 plus 4, 24 plus 12, 36 plus 3, it will be 39. So what will be our total value? That will be 39. Let's go to second question. Write the Java expression for x square plus xy, and it is in mod. So for using mod, we have a special method in the math class. We will write like this: math.abs, math.abs, and inside that we can write like x multiplied x plus x multiplied y. So this will be the Java expression for the following mathematical statement. Let's go to question 3. Rewrite the following using ternary operator. Okay, so we have to write this if else code as ternary operator. Okay, so what we can do is, if we see it, the value is stored in a variable c, so we can simply write here c equal to, c in small, it will be not in capital, and then condition is x is greater than y, then we'll put question mark here, and then we'll write the first value, that is a character a, and then colon sign, and then we will write in small letter, we will write a, then semicolon. Okay, if the statement is true, then capital A will be stored in c. If the statement is false, then small a will be stored in variable c. So this is the equivalent ternary operator statement. Question number 4. Rewrite the following while loop using for loop. So the same code has to be written with for loop. What we need to do is, we'll write here for. Okay, inside for what we will write, we'll write the variable, we'll declare the variable int, then x equal to 5, then we put semicolon. This is initialization. Then after, what we have to do, we have to put condition. So we'll put what, x is lesser or equal to 5, then semicolon, and then we will put x plus plus. Okay, not semicolon will not be here, this will not be here, this will be what, bracket here. Then after, we will open the scope of the loop, and then we'll close the loop. Okay, and the printing statement, that will be outside the loop only. Now we'll go to question number 5. How many times the following loop will get executed? What is the output of the same? Int counter equal to 1, do system.out.println counter, while counter plus plus is lesser than 5. See, this is exit control loop. That's why what will happen, this loop will execute 5 times. When the variable value is 1, what will be printed? 1. Next time it will be printed 2, then 3, then 4, and then next time when it is 4, still the condition will be true because the value of the counter variable is lesser than 5. Next time it will be printed 5, and as it is printed 5, it comes to the end of the loop and the condition is checked, then it is 5 is lesser than 5, this condition is false. So what will happen, the loop will be terminated, the values will be printed 1 2 3 4 5, and the loop will run 5 times. Let's go to question 6. Mississippi dot replace capital S comma T to lowercase. So here we have a string and we have to replace capital S with small t, and then we have to convert the string into lowercase. So it's very simple. What will be there? It will be small m, and then both S will be, the capital S will be replaced by t, and then again I, then again 2 times t, and then I, and then PPI. So the capital S will be replaced by small t, and again the result will be converted back to the lower cases. Let's go to question 7. This is very important and very crucial question for us. Reduce dot compare to revolt. Here what we have to do, we have to do comparison. So compare to method is a special method of string class which compares the characters lexicographically. So if we see here, first two letters are same, re and re. So what will we do, we will compare the third letter. And what is the third one for us? The third one is here D, and here the third one is V. Okay, third one is D and third one is here V. So when you subtract, you have to subtract what? You have to subtract D minus V. Put the ASCII value of these. The ASCII value of D is 68. It will be what? 68. And the ASCII value of V is 86, that you can see. So when you subtract them, what do you get? You get the answer as minus 18. Minus 18, that is the output of the first part of this. Then we have the second one, Antarctica dot last index of a. So the last index we have to count. So let's see here, we have how many characters here. Let's start with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So last, there are 9 character, and the last a is at which position? It is at 8th position. So our first returned value was minus 18, and this has returned us 8. So minus 8 plus minus 18 plus 8 will be how much? It will be minus 10. So what will be our correct answer? It will be minus 10. Now we have the question, define the boxing with an example. So boxing is the process of converting primitive data type to object. Okay, and how we do this? For doing that, first of all we have to use the wrapper class. See, the wrapper class like integer, and then we created the object of that integer wrapper class. Okay, obj, and then new keyword, and then again class name, and the value is provided as an argument. Let's go to question 9. Consider the following program and answer the question below. We have a class named sample. We have two variables here in the class, integer a and b. There is a constructor which is a parameterized constructor that accepts two arguments. It initializes a and b. Then we have void calculate, a method that prints the sum of a and b. The question is name the global variables. So we have two global variables, and that are a and b, which are declared in the class. Okay, and then it comes, what are method variables? So method variables are those variables which are declared inside a method. It may be inside the block, or it may be in the form of arguments. So this is also, z is also a method variable, and this int, x and y are also method variable. So there are three method variables here. What are the three method variables? The three method variables are x, y and z. Okay, let's go to question 10. Consider the following array and answer the question below. We have an array named x of integer type. What is the size of the array? So size of the array, we have to see number of elements. So let's count the number of elements: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what is the size of the array? The size of the array is 10. Now it is asking what is the position of 89. So remember that position, we count it from 0. So let's count it, 23, that is on 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what is the position? That will be 5. The correct position of 89 is 5. 5 is the index position. Okay, so this is the first part we have completed. Now we will be moving towards the second part of the paper, that is section B. The first question is, define a class with the following specification. So we have to define a class where specification, data members and member variables of the class are already mentioned in the question. So we have four variables here: e number, e name, age, basic. Okay, then we have methods: void accept, which will accept the input from user using scanner class. We have void calculate, which will calculate the net salary as per the given specification, as per the given criteria. And then we have void print, to print the details such as employee number, name, age and basic and net salary as per the given format. Okay, and main function, where we will create the object and we will call these all methods. So let's start the code for this. We have, first we will write import java.util.scanner. Then we will create the class as per mentioned in the question, employee. Okay, e number and age we will keep integer. String e name will be of string type, and these values such as basic salary, net salary, HRA, DA and PF we will keep of double type. Now we will create the object of scanner class, scanner sc, new scanner system.in. Now our first method, that is void accept. Void accept will do what? It will accept the input from user. So what we need to accept as per the specification in the question, we have to accept three things from user. We have to accept the employee number, we have to accept the employee name, and we have to accept the employee's age. Three things we have to accept from the user. Okay, and one more thing we need to accept, the fourth one is the basic salary also, because we have to calculate the net salary. So you can see the code, we have accepted these details, like employee number will be stored in e number by using next int method, employee name will be stored in e name variable using next method, and age will be stored in age, and the basic salary will be stored in the variable basic. Now the second method where we calculate the net salary, okay, as per the given specification we have calculated HRA, then we have calculated DA, we have calculated PF. Okay, there was one more uh, criteria given in the question that we have to see. The question was that if the age of the employee is above 50 year, then he or she gets an additional allowance of 5,000 rupees. So that we have to add here in the void calculate itself. So we will apply if condition here. As you can see, if the age is greater than 50, then net salary is equal to basic plus HRA plus DA minus PF, but 5,000 to be added. But if the age is not above 50, then simply what we will do, we will add basic HRA and DA, and PF we will deduct. Okay, so this is how we calculate our net salary. And then what we have to do is, next we will call the print method. The third method is print method, and as per the given specification in the question, we have to print in the tabular form. So we have to use /t here, a escape sequence. So that's we have used here, you can see. And then the same sequence will be used for printing. First e number will be printed, the employee number, then name, then age, then basic salary and net salary. So these are three methods of employee class. It's time to see the main function. We'll create main function, then we will create the object of the employee class. The object is created here, and then we will call these methods. These methods does not accept any argument, we simply call them. And accept method will do what? It will initialize these variables. Calculate method will do what? Calculate will calculate the net salary, and print method will print the details. So this is the code for the question number 1. Now we will move to the second question, question number 4. Question number 4 is based on method overloading. We have to define a class with three different methods. In the sense that their purpose is different, but their name is same. If you see here, all three methods are having the same name, print. First method is what? Void print, no return type, but it will print the pattern. The pattern is something like this: 1, then in the second line it is 2 3, then 4 5 6, and then 7 8 9 10. Second method is what? Print, but the return type of this method is boolean, and it also accept an integer variable. So what we have to check, to check whether the number is a Dewdney number or not. So what is a Dewdney number? If the cube of the sum of the digit is equal to the number itself, then it is called Dewdney number. Like 512 example is given. So there are three digits in 512, 5 plus 1 plus 2. If we add these three digits, we get 8, and the cube of 8 is 512, and which is equal to the number itself. So this is our second method. The third method is, we have to create another method where what this method is going to do, this method will accept a character from user. Okay, and that character will be checked. If the character is S, then the square of the number will be printed. It will accept, this method will have two arguments. You can see here two arguments, one the number and one the character. Okay, if the character is S, then a square will be printed. If the character is C, then cube will be printed. Remember it, user can enter capital C or small c. For according to that we have to apply the condition. So let's begin with the first method where we have to print this pattern. Okay, so for that, as we see here, that how many lines are there, rows are there? There are 5 rows, 1 2 3 4. only 4 rows are there, not 5 rows. Okay, and in every row, as the row increases, the number of values increases. In the first row 1 value, in the second row 2 value, in the third row 3 value, in the fourth row 4 value. Okay, now we'll go to our class and method. So I have created a class with the name q4, and here the method is print. Okay, we'll take a variable k here, that will be before the loop k equal to 1. We have declared a variable here k equal to 1. Okay, now because we have to run the loop, how many times we have to run the loop? Only 4 times we will run. Okay, not 5 times. There is some mistake in the code, will correct it. Here it should be lesser than, 5, not lesser or equal to 5. It should be only lesser than 5. Okay, then what we have to do? C equal to 1, because we have to run the loop how many times? It depends on, the second loop depends on the value of r, the first loop. Okay, so when the value of r is 1, then c will also be 1, and it will run, first time it will run one time only, so 1 will be printed, but when the value of r becomes 2, the loop gets terminated. Before termination, the value of k will be updated. It will be here, as you can see, k plus plus, it will become 2. Now again the value of r is 2. Now when the value of r is 2, then what will happen? Again the inner loop will start, and the value of c will begin with 1 only. Now c will run how many times? C will run 2 times. C is equal to 1 and c is equal to 2, because the value of r is now 2. That's why it will run 2 times. So as we see here, we have to print 2 values. Previous time when the k was updated, it became how much? It was 2. So 2 will be printed, because we are printing the value of k, not the value of c. Now k will be updated again. Now k becomes 3. Okay, k becomes 3, 3 will be printed. Now the value of c, gets updated, and it becomes 3, and which is lesser than the value of r, and the loop gets terminated. We go at the top of the loop. Now r gets increased. Now r is equal to 3. Now r is equal to 3. When r is 3, then c will run 3 times, 1 2 3. But the final value, the previous value of k was already 3. What was the value of, no, after printing it became 4. The value has been updated, so it will be 4. So 4 will be printed, then next 5 will be printed, and 6 will be printed, and the value of k will be updated, and it will become 7, and the loop gets terminated. Now r is, finally r gets 4. R is 4 now. Then we come to the inner loop. Now when r is 4, then inner loop will execute 4 times, 1 2 3 4. Okay, and when it gets executed 4 times, the value of k was 7. Then it will be not comma, only 7 will be printed, then 8, then 9 and 10. As the value of k becomes 11, k will be 11, but the value of c is also what? 5, after at the last 5. And when the condition gets false, loop goes to the outer one, the counter goes to the outer loop. And here I in the beginning itself I told that there is a correction. Here it should be 4, not 5. Or one more thing we can do, we can remove this equal to, then also it will be okay. Now the loop will be terminated, outer loop will also be terminated, and when the loop ends, we get the correct pattern as per the given in the question. Let's move to the second part, the second method, print. We have to check whether the number is Dewdney number or not. So for that we need to extract the digit of number. So we will take the we will store the number into a temporary variable. N will be stored in num, in a temporary variable. We will have a variable to store the sum, that is s equal to 0. Now we will run the loop, while loop here. The loop will run till the value of n is greater than 0. Okay, now we will extract the digit by using the modulus operator, modeling by 10, and in this way we get the sum. So how we get it? Suppose we take the number n as 512 only. If we take 512 only, so when we module 512 by 10, how much we get? When we module 512, then we get what? 2. Okay, and the value of the sum is what? 0. So sum equal to 0, sum is s is already 0, s equal to 0 plus 2, so s will be updated with 2. Next time what will happen, number will be divided by 10. It means that the number is 512, and when the 512 divided by 10, then it comes 51. Now again the condition will be checked. 51 is greater than 0. Then what will happen? Then 51 module 10. 51 module 10 means what will be remainder? 1. So 1 will be stored back to s. The previous value of s was 2. So 2 plus 1, it will become 3. Now again we will divide the number itself. So n will be how much? 51 divided by 10, and it will remain only 5. Still 5 is greater than 0, condition is still true. One more time the loop will be executed. Now, so when we module 5 by 10, we get 5 only. Okay, now the previous value of s was 3, so 3 plus 5, we get what? The s is equal to 8. Now what happens when you divide 5 by 10? You get 0. Why? Because 0.5 and n is an integer variable, that's why what will be 0. And now the loop will be false. The condition of the loop is false, so loop will be terminated. In this way, what you get when the loop gets over, you get the value of s. Okay, now what you have to do next is, you can see here we have to apply a condition. If num is equal to s multiplied s, if the num, because already n is 0, so that's why we have already stored in a temporary variable. If it is true, if the cube of the sum of digit is equal to the number itself, then we have to return? We have to return true, otherwise we will return false, because the return type of this print method is boolean. Moving towards the third method, print, it also accepts two arguments, one integer and one character. Okay, if the character is small s or capital S, then we will print the square of the number. Otherwise we will else if we will apply, if the character is small c or capital C, then we will print the cube of that number. Else what we will print? Invalid character. We can print what? Invalid character if none of the character is mentioned. Like if it is not mentioned S or C, then it should be printed invalid character. So this was the three methods. We only have to define the classes, and that was an example of method overloading. Now moving towards question number 5. Define a class to accept 10 integers and arrange them in descending order using bubble sort. So we have only bubble sort in our syllabus. Okay, and there is a question given in the specimen paper based on this also. It may come, these kind of question may come in the main examination also. Okay, print the original array and sorted array. So what we are going to do, first of all, we'll use import java.util.scanner. We'll create a class here. Okay, then main function, we need some variables. We need a number, num, I, j and temp. We have 4 variables here. Let's create the object of scanner class. Okay, let's create an array of integer type with the size 10, which we have done here. Okay, and then we have given a message to user that enter 10 integer values. Using for loop, we have initialized the elements of the array, which is done, and we will print it before sorting it. So values before sorting we have printed. Simply we will run the loop 0 to less than 10, because we have 10 elements in the array printed. Now we will do the sorting work. Sorting is bubble sorting. For that we will run 2 loops here. First 0 to less than 10, that means 10 elements will be searched. Okay, and the second loop is what? Second loop is, we will start j is equal to 0, and it will run less than, j should be lesser than 10 minus I. Every time we are writing what? 10 minus I minus 1. So what will happen here? We need to understand, if the value of I is already, first time it will be what? 0, means the first. Now j is how much? J is 0, so we are beginning with 0. J is 0, and j should be lesser than what? J should be lesser than 10 minus I minus 1. So what is that value? 10 minus I. The 10 minus I is what? Already 0, so that will be 10 minus 1, 9. So it should be lesser than, j should be lesser than 9. So this loop will run how many times? When I is, when I is 0, then j will run 9 times. Okay, next time when I is 1, then this loop will run lesser than that. That is what? How many times? 10 minus 1 minus 1, that is 8 times. Every time when the value of I increases, then the number of repetition of this inner loop will decrease. So now let's go to the code. We have to see here, when array I means the index of I, the first value of the array is lesser than the value of j plus 1, then what we have to do, we will just shift it. We will have a temporary variable temp where the value will be initialized. Which value will be initialized? The value of j will be stored. When it is greater than only it will be stored. And now what we will do, the first element of the array will be stored in temp variable. Now we will do what? Again we will initialize this, the first element with the next element. Okay, and the next element, again the value which we have kept in the temp will be initialized back to second element. So what we are doing, basically we are just shifting them, we are just swapping them one by one. Okay, like if we are, how we are checking it, let me tell you all. Like suppose we have an array here, like we have 4, we have 7, we have 9 and 4. So we are comparing basically first two values. If the second value is greater, like this is greater, then it will be swapped. Now 7 will come here, 4 will come here. This is the code. Okay, and we have to do it every time. Means I told, in when first time it will be done 9 times, second time it will be done 8 times, next time it will be done 7 times. And this is how, when the both loop gets closed, means the outer loop gets closed, we get the final array, the sorted array in the descending order, and we will print it. Okay, so we will print it, and that is what we will run a loop, and the value will be printed, the sorted value in descending order. Using the bubble sorting, the values will be printed. Now we will be going to the next question. Question number 6. Define a class to accept the values into a double array of size 20 and print the range of array. And so what is range? Range is the difference between the largest and the smallest value. Suppose we have a set of data, in that the maximum data, the biggest data minus the smallest data is the range. So we have started this code: import java.util.scanner. The class is created, main function, object of scanner class, double type array, the name of array is numbers, size is defined 20, and then a message: enter 20 numbers. Number will be stored in the array elements according to the index. We will, because we have run the loop from 0 to less than 20, so 0 to 19 it will run, and the values will be initialized into the array. Now we have two more variables to find out the smallest and largest. Okay, so we have to look for the largest and smallest value in the array, and for that we will run the loop again. The loop will run from 1 to the 1 less than the length. Okay, because we have already initialized, what we have done, we have already initialized the first value, because the first value is on the 0 index. So we have already initialized the first value in smallest and largest. But now what we are comparing here, we are comparing if the next value, means the value stored on the second index, is greater than the largest, then that will be stored to the largest. Else if that number, the second index number, is smaller than smallest, then that will be stored on smallest. So this process goes on, and when the loop gets over, we finally get the smallest and the largest number, and at the end of the loop we will print the range. The range is what? That is largest minus smallest. This was the program where we have to print the range of given 20 elements of the array. Moving towards question number 7. Define a class to accept a string and print the same in reverse, and also print the number of vowels in that. Example is given here, beautiful. So we have to print it in reverse order, and also we have to print the number of vowels present in the string. So we will ask user to enter a string, import java.util.scanner, then class name, main function, object of scanner class. We need two variables here, one for storing string value, one for counting the vowel. Enter a word. When the user sees that message, user will enter a value. That value will be stored in the variable s. Now what I'm going to do is I'll convert this into uppercase, so that it will be easier for us to look for the vowel. Okay, otherwise we have to write 10 times. We have to compare with 5 small letters vowel and 5 capital letters. So if we convert in uppercase, we have to write only uppercase letters. Now what we are doing, we are converting the string into a character array by using the to-char array method. Okay, and we will initialize that character type array ch. Now we have another string here, that is a blank string with the name rev to store the reverse value. Now we will run the loop. We will run the loop opposite, means it will be run from last to first. Okay, and that will be from the length -1 to up to 0. And in this way we also get, this is the statement where we get the reverse of the array. Reverse equal to reverse plus the current index of that character array. And along with that we are looking for a vowel, and for that we have written if chi is equal to a or chi is equal to e, I, o, u. We have already converted into uppercase, so our task will be easier. And if any of the vowel is matching, then the value of v will be increased by 1. So when the loop gets over, we get the reversed word also, and we also get the number of vowels. So this was the question number 7. Let's go to question number 8. We have to define a class to accept names of 10 students in an array and check for the existence of the given name in the array using linear searching. Okay, if found, then print the position and the name, and if it is not found, print the appropriate message. And also print the names with the begins with SRI. Okay, so for that, let's start the program. Same process, import java.util.scanner, create the class, main function, scanner class object. Let's create an array of string type. Okay, and the size of the array is 10. So user will enter 10 students names, and the names will be stored here. By using the loop, we will initialize all the 10 names in the array. Now we will ask user again to enter the name which has to be searched. That we will store in another variable s here. Okay, and now what we are going to do, we have to do the linear searching. Okay, linear searching means each and every element will be searched. Okay, now if the name I means the first one is equals ignore case, we are applying equals ignore case, so that if the user has entered in capital or small, so there will be no effect of that. If the characters are same, then it will be found, and then we are printing the appropriate message that s is found at this position. Okay, if it is found, then if it is not found, that message will not be printed. Else we will print what? Not found, the appropriate message. Along with that, we are checking one more thing. If the name I means the current index, if that particular name starts with is a method of string class sri, if it is starts with sri, then that name will be printed. If it does not start, then that will not be printed. So this is, there were 6 questions. We had 6 questions here in section B, and we have solved all, but in examination we will be attempting only 4 questions, and each question carries 15 marks. So that's all we have for this specimen paper. Thank you.